Hello everyone, Joel here. After lots of new turn-based games recommendation that I put in these last few months, I think it's time for us to go back a little bit to tactical RPGs territory. Since there are still so many tactical JRPGs that are hidden beneath the passage of time, I want to reintroduce these games once again so that you guys can finally experience it. These games might not be the pinnacle of tactical RPGs in its truest sense, but I believe they can still provide a fresh and enjoyable experience, especially for newcomers to the genre. But before we go into the list, I want to introduce you to the best platform for buying games in this modern era, and it's called instant gaming. Instant gaming is the perfect place for you to shop in games these days. Your transactions are legit, fast, and their supports are ready 24/7, so you don't need to worry about anything. Do you think I was done? Not even close. They have lots of games for your favorite platforms, and they have the best deals as well. Instead of cutting your budget for dinner to buy new games, why not try instant gaming and eat healthy as well? All you have to do is just click my link in the description below, start searching for your favorite games, and use the activation code on your chosen platforms. By using my link, you're not only saving tons of money, but also helping me to support this channel. Alright then, let's get back into the list. Rondo of Swords is one of those rare tactical RPGs that dares to break tradition. Released with little fanfare for the Nintendo DS, this title flew under the radar of many genre fans. The game's most striking innovation is its route maneuver system, which replaces traditional move and attack phases with a single path-based action. The learning curve is steep and it's easy to make mistakes, but the reward of mastering the system is immensely satisfying. At first glance, God Wars may look like a standard grid-based tactical RPG in the style of Final Fantasy Tactics or Tactics Ogre, but beneath that familiar surface lies a deeply customizable and highly flexible system. Characters can freely switch between multiple job classes, mixing and matching primary and secondary abilities to build a squad that suits your playstyle. With over 30 job classes and 400 plus skills, this game is definitely a playground for any strategist. In the early 2000s, tactical RPG fans were spoiled with genre-defining hits like Final Fantasy Tactics, Vandal Hearts, and Tactics Ogre. Then in 2001, Hoshigami Ruining Blue Earth quietly arrived with little fanfare, and quickly became one of the most divisive games in SRPG history. Developed by Max 5 and published by Atlus, Hoshigami was ambitious, unconventional, and unforgiving. The most defining mechanic is the RAP system, which allows players to push characters to act multiple times in a single turn at the cost of delaying their next action by a significant amount. Stella Deus is one of the most overlooked tactical RPGs of the PS2 era. From a gameplay standpoint, Stella Deus borrows DNA from Final Fantasy Tactics and Tactics Ogre, but its unique AP system adds a significant twist. Instead of waiting full turns, characters can act as long as they have the AP to do so, allowing for granular control over movement, attacks, and abilities. Each class and weapon type also feels distinct, and the turn manipulation mechanics offer strategic possibilities not often found in contemporaries. Stella Glow marked as the final game developed by Image Epoch, a studio best known for their work on Luminous Arc and Seventh Dragon. Mechanically, Stella Glow doesn't reinvent the SRPG wheel. It uses a grid-based system reminiscent of Final Fantasy Tactics and its spiritual sibling Luminous Arc. What sets it apart, however, is the balance and polish. Battles are fast-paced and well-tuned, with smart enemy AI and varied objectives. The game also smartly incorporates social mechanics akin to Persona's social links. Spending time with party members will boost their effectiveness in combat, unlocks abilities, and deepens their personal arcs. Pokemon Conquest is one of the most surprising crossovers in gaming history, and one of the greatest hidden gems on the Nintendo DS. The core gameplay of Pokemon Conquest is turn-based tactical combat, but with Pokemon at the center. Each warlord controls one Pokemon, and battles take place on grid-based maps with terrain effects, traps, elevation, and even mission-specific win conditions. You're also doing more than just battling in this game. You'll be managing a growing roster of characters across multiple kingdoms and even defending your territories from enemy invasions in real time. Kartia: The Word of Fate is a fascinating and frequently overlooked tactical RPG that dared to do things differently. At its heart, Kartia is a tactical RPG with a dual narrative structure. Each campaign offers a unique perspective on the same overarching plot. This parallel narrative structure invites players to see the truth through multiple lenses. As for the gameplay, Kartia uses the familiar classic grid-based SRPG setup, but it infuses its battles with a summoning and customization system that sets it apart from other titles in the genre. Operation Darkness is one of the most audacious tactical RPGs to ever hit the Xbox 360 console. Released in 2008, Operation Darkness took the familiar turn-based tactical RPG structure and placed it in an alternate World War II scenario. Mechanically, Operation Darkness is a traditional turn-based SRPG. Units move and act on a 3D battlefield with line-of-sight mechanics, cover systems, and a range of weapon types. But what separates it from typical tactics games is its hardcore punishing design. Permadeath is a constant threat. If a character dies and you don't revive them during that mission, they're gone for the rest of the game. Ring of Red is a fascinating hybrid strategy game that arrived early in the PlayStation 2's lifecycle and has since drifted into obscurity. Set in an alternate timeline where World War II ends with Japan divided between East and West, Ring of Red explores a fictional 1960s Asia, in which proxy conflicts are fought using armored walking machines called AFWs. Unlike typical super robot fantasies, the mechs here are slow, industrial, and grounded in plausible physics. They can jam, overheat, and have limited ammo. These machines feel less like superheroes and more like diesel-powered tanks with legs. "13 Sentinels Aegis Rim" is one of the most narratively ambitious games of its generation. At its core, 13 Sentinels is about 13 high school students piloting giant mechs to defend humanity from an impending apocalypse. As for its gameplay, 13 Sentinels implemented a real-time strategy hybrid, where you command up to 6 Sentinels to repel waves of kaiju on a digital battlefield. While it's abstract in presentation, it's actually rich in depth, with loadouts, mech generations, and enemy types demanding real planning. Onimusha Tactics is a lesser-known entry in Capcom's legendary Onimusha franchise. When most people hear Onimusha, they think of cinematic swordplay, demonic warlords, and pre-rendered PS2 graphics. But in 2003, Capcom made a surprising move, shrinking the Onimusha universe down to Game Boy Advance size and reimagining it as a grid-based tactical RPG. Though the game is separate from the mainline canon, it borrows much of the series' visual DNA, including Oni weaponry, Genma enemies, and dark feudal aesthetics. Saiyuki is one of those quietly brilliant PS1 tactical RPGs that flew under the radar. Inspired by the classic Chinese novel Journey to the West, this game offers a deeply unique mix of Eastern mythology, innovative combat mechanics, and strategy gameplay. At a glance, Saiyuki looks like a traditional isometric SRPG with grid-based movement, turn-based actions, and elemental spells. However, it introduces several inventive mechanics that set it apart from other titles in the genre, like transformations, karma system, and even the weather effects. Pucelle Tactics is a standout tactical RPG that never got the mainstream attention it deserved, despite coming from the same studio that would later achieve cult fame with Disgaea. A spiritual predecessor in tone and mechanics, Pucelle blends irreverent humor, religious satire, deep strategy, and a charming cast into one of the PS2's most overlooked gems. While it may look like a typical grid-based SRPG, Pucelle introduces several unique mechanics that shake up the formula, with monster recruitment feature being the most defining one. Soul Nomad and the World Eaters is one of the boldest and strangest tactical RPGs has ever released. This game quietly delivered a mix of SRPG mechanics and army customization in a package that few players experience. Unlike most SRPGs where you control individual units, Soul Nomad introduces a squad-based combat system. Each unit on the field is a party of up to 9 characters. You can customize these squads down to individual members, allowing you to hire characters, name your units, and experiment with countless combinations. The Vestaria Saga series is a tactical RPG franchise that stands as a true hidden gem for fans of classic Fire Emblem. Designed by the original creator of Fire Emblem, Vestaria Saga bring back the strategic brilliance, unforgiving challenge, and deeply political narratives that characterized Kaga's early work. The Vestaria Saga series set in a richly detailed medieval world filled with warring nations, noble families, and ancient prophecies. The gameplay will feel instantly familiar to Fire Emblem veterans, but this series dials the tactical complexity to an even higher level.
Enough!
Redemption Reapers is one of the most criminally overlooked tactical RPGs in recent years. Developed by AdGlobe and published by Binary Haze Interactive, it arrived with modest marketing and little fanfare in early 2023. But beneath its grim exterior lies a compact, emotionally charged SRPG that delivers tight squad-based tactics, mature storytelling, and a grounded wartime atmosphere. Combat isn't about bombastic effects or overpowered combos. It's about survival, endurance, and clever use of terrain and abilities to overcome superior numbers.
Clear the way!
When Sozo Kaga left Nintendo and Intelligent Systems after Thracia 776, fans feared that his bold, distinctive vision for Fire Emblem would vanish, but turns out Kaga wasn't finished. In 2001, he launched Tearing Saga on the original PlayStation. If you have played Genealogy of the Holy War or Thracia 776, Tearing Saga will feel instantly familiar. With two protagonists each with their own paths and armies, Tearing Saga splits the game into two alternating narratives that offer distinct experiences. If Tearing Saga was Kaga proving he could still make Fire Emblem without Nintendo, Berwick Saga is him burning the formula to the ground and rebuilding it from the ashes. At its core, Berwick Saga is a grid-based tactical RPG, but one that rejects square tiles for hexagons, eliminates the traditional weapon triangle, and implements one of the most unforgiving yet rewarding systems in the genre. Instead of controlling an army with fixed turn order, Berwick Saga uses an initiative system where units act one at a time. There is no traditional leveling either. Units gain experience in skills and can promote only when certain stat and skill thresholds are met. Mixing tactical RPG combat with traditional turn-based mechanics, Bahamut Lagoon was ahead of its time. At first glance, the game seems like a standard tactical RPG in the style of Final Fantasy Tactics. You move units across grid-based maps and position them for attacks. But here's the interesting part. When you attack the enemy unit, the game suddenly switched to classic JRPG turn-based combat. On top of that, Bahamut Lagoon also adds dragon mechanics to its battle system. Your dragons fight independently, and their impact in battle makes the combat far more dynamic than your typical SRPGs. Vanguard Bandits is a bold and unusual tactical RPG that combines medieval intrigue, anime melodrama, and giant mechanical armor suits. Vanguard Bandits looks like a medieval fantasy RPG at first glance, but instead of knights on horses or swordsmen in robes, you control mechs. This oddball fusion of medieval warfare and steampunk technology is one of the game's most striking qualities. Your units clash on open plains, icy mountain passes, and fortified castles, but every clash involves metallic titans hacking away at one another with exaggerated anime-style flair. Alright boys, I think that's it for today. I know that there are other tactical JRPGs that I haven't mentioned yet, so how about sharing your best less known tactical JRPGs that probably deserve a spot in the comment section below. Don't forget to like the video and make sure to subscribe to the channel if you don't want to miss another great list. Thank you for watching and have a good day. Peace!